Hey, everybody, welcome to the Get the Rant podcast with your host, Grim. One of the most fascinating things about this entire MAGA movement that has taken place over the course of the last 9 years is watching the transformation of people that you personally know, people that you thought were friends and family members, and you thought they were intelligent and you thought they had some common sense. But it's so striking to me that a lot of these people that I used to hold respect for have just gone the way of absolute nutsoid conspiracy theories. They have gone off the deep end and have dove headfirst right into the same line of thinking of people like Alex Jones and InfoWars, which is quite sad. It's sad to watch. It's disheartening to see this happen, but it's crazy. A lot of the people that I once respected now believe that Democrats are controlling the weather and sending hurricanes to North Carolina and to the Gulf. And it's absolutely crazy to think that. These guys believe that the Democrats can control the weather and are lighting California on fire on purpose. A lot of these people that I looked up to now believe that the government was actually trying to kill its own citizens in the COVID-19 vaccines and trying to make them sick on purpose. Between that and the immigrants are eating dogs and cats, and they buy wholeheartedly into these cartels coming up and taking over apartment complexes in Colorado. I mean, the list of their conspiracies has no end. And I see a lot of them, they no longer believe in education. They no longer believe in any type of science. To them, it's all fake news. It's fascinating to watch this, but at the same time, it's sad as hell. These people have been so indoctrinated, become so identified with Donald Trump and this movement that no matter what is being told to them, they are buying. Even if it makes no damn sense at all, they are buying it 100%. And now we have Donald Trump in the White House, who's signed over 200 executive orders, which is ironic because I remember when Republicans used to bitch and used to complain about presidents, Democratic presidents, using executive orders. And the argument that they always used was, well, that's not how you're supposed to govern. You're supposed to get the votes and pass laws, not just use executive orders. But now it is okay that executive orders are being used to govern because it's their side that's doing it. And Donald Trump is trying to roll back protections for women. He's trying to roll back protections for people based on race and religion and sexual orientation. He wants, once again, for this country to be able to discriminate when they are hiring. It's become abundantly clear that the time frame that MAGA wants to go back to so-called Make America Great Again is a time frame that is dangerous for the American people. It's dangerous for people of color. It's dangerous for women. It's dangerous for the LGBTQ community. It's overall just dangerous all the way around. And now it's being reported today that Donald Trump is bypassing federal background checks and giving people blanket, top secret clearance. So we have people in our government that are coming in with the Trump administration, getting top secret clearances, but have not even undergone a federal background check. This is insane. This is dangerous. I can't believe that he's doing these type of things, putting the nation at risk. But this is the MO of Donald Trump. Because Trump doesn't know how to govern. All he knows how to do is sow chaos and division everywhere he goes. This is the way Donald Trump leads the country. He doesn't actually do anything to benefit the American people financially. He never works on issues that the American people need, such as healthcare, education, better wages, bringing down the cost of our groceries, bringing down the cost of rents and housing. He talked a lot about this stuff on the campaign trail. And remember, he was claiming that, it's the groceries. I won on groceries. But yet, since he's got into the White House, what has happened to all that talk? Where has it gone? Now, it's nothing but immigration. We're not going to give aid to California for the wildfires unless that aid is attached to conditions. I mean, how absurd is it that we have a president of the United States telling one of our states that you may not get the funding that you need, you may not get the aid that you need unless you do as I say. We are watching in real time the unraveling of our democracy. There's no two ways about it. We have a man in office who claims that he backs the blue, who claims that he is the law and order president, and yet he spits in every law enforcement officer's face around the country when he pardoned over 1,500 people who assaulted police officers, who tried to interrupt our government proceedings on January 6th. These people were trying to lead an insurrection, and he gave them all a blanket pardon. But yet he wants to be the law and order president. He has made a clear statement to law enforcement officers that if you are on Trump's side and you back Trump, then he will protect you. But if you try to uphold the law and you try to do the right thing and what you're supposed to do, he will make sure that even if people attack you, there will be no repercussions for those people. That he will always side with the people who are backing him. So it really puts our law enforcement agencies right in the crosshairs, and they're going to have to make hard decisions about whether or not they want to back Donald Trump or if they want to do the right thing. And as we speak right now, Trump is sending thousands of troops down to the border to secure it. He's trying to, by executive order, roll back the 14th Amendment and get rid of birthright citizenship, which you can't just overwrite the Constitution with an executive order. But these are the things that Trump is trying to do. And this shows you the character of the man, that he doesn't care about the Constitution. He doesn't care about the rule of law. He is going to try and do whatever it is that he wants to do, no matter what the cost. There was a time when the Republican Party claimed to be the party of patriots, claimed to be the party of the Constitution. But now they don't give a shit about the Constitution. It's just a piece of paper. And they would rather throw it in the trash, rewrite it in the image of Donald Trump. And anybody who thought that the Project 2025 agenda wasn't real, just look around. They distanced themselves from it while they were campaigning. But now we see the true colors coming out in every piece of legislation that they are trying to do. I mean, we have rolled back women's rights. They are trying to roll back marriage equality for LGBTQ members. They are trying to defund the Department of Education. They want to get rid of any EPA regulations They want to be able to allow corporations to go back to polluting this goddamn country the way that they used to do. They just want to be able to dump their toxic shit into your rivers, into your lakes, into your streams, into your water supply. We have already cleaned up all of these water issues before. We have cleaned up tons of these goddamn messes, and here comes Donald Trump wanting to roll back all of these regulations so that we can just turn this place into a shithole all over again. Places where you can't go in the water, you can't eat the fish from the water, and you can't drink the water. Is this the kind of country that we really want? Because this is what we're looking forward to, America. A dumping ground. A dumping ground for companies like Elon Musk, for dirty energy, so that they can just pollute with no consequences, none at all. And now you have RFK Jr. turning back on everything that he used to say, and now he's all for vaccines. He's saying whatever the hell he needs to say to get through that nomination process so he can get that job. It's amazing to me how all these people have a certain stance, but then when they want to go be part of Trump's MAGA movement, suddenly they do an about face. They say anything to get elected. Ted Cruz vehemently attacked Trump. Now he kisses his ass every chance he gets. Marco Rubio attacked Donald Trump every chance he got. And now he's kissing his ass. And now he's getting himself, trying to get himself a job in the Trump administration. These people don't even hide their hypocrisy. They don't even care. They don't bother to try because MAGA will eat it up. Trump supporters will believe anything that Donald Trump tells them to believe. They will say anything that Donald Trump tells them to say. He claims that he's bringing back common sense government. Donald Trump only has two interests in being the president of the United States. One is to stay out of goddamn prison. That was the big thing. And two is to do favors for his corporate buddies and favors for his own wallet. He released some goddamn crypto meme coin he made billions of dollars on. I mean, this man is the biggest fucking grifter we've ever had in the White House. It's simple as that. The idea that Trump is tearing down every institution and trying to roll back so many laws in this country to take us back to a day where the people of this country were abused. Whether it was women being abused, whether it was people of color being abused, whether it was black people being abused, and women were underpaid, people of color were underpaid. He wants to legalize all this. He wants to make it legal to discriminate against people based on all of these issues that are protected. And the only reason that you would want to get rid of a law that protects people from discrimination is because you want to discriminate. There is no other reason for it. So he's trying to take us back. And apparently, that is the direction that the country is going to go. We are going backwards. Women have such a huge fight on their hands to try to get back the rights that they fought so long to get. The LGBTQ community, they're basically going to have to start over now. All of these things, and it's going to get much worse. We're just at the start. We are in the first week of this presidency. And we already have all of this shit to try to deal with and to sort out, and lawsuits everywhere. But this is the MO of Donald Trump. He just causes chaos. He says the craziest shit on a daily basis, and that's to keep everybody distracted. He keeps you looking for this shiny object and for this shiny object over here. But meanwhile, in the background, his vice president, Vance, and people like Elon Musk, they're working hard to make sure that they get Project 2025 implemented, and Musk is making sure that he can extract all the wealth from what's left of the middle class and the poor. They have made us indentured servants. They want to make sure that the American population is poor enough that they are always struggling so that they keep showing up to these shitty jobs for shitty pay, working long, shitty hours forever. They don't want you to be prosperous because they need employees. Why do you think they're always saying it? We've heard them on TV talking about it. All of these CEOs talking about how Americans need to have more babies. Americans need to have more babies. We need workers. We need workers. You see, that's what you are. You are not citizens to them. You are corporate factory workers. And they will treat you as such. One of the most ridiculous things that I keep hearing MAGA supporters say is that they are happy because all these so-called businessmen are running the country. You don't want the United States government to be run as a business. Businesses only care about one thing: profit. And they will do that by cutting costs and screwing over the consumers. And what do you think they're going to do in government? All they know how to do is cut things. So they're going to cut your Social Security. They're going to look for ways to cut your disability. They're going to look for ways to cut any type of help with welfare or food stamps. They're going to cut every type of goddamn thing they can. They're going to cut education budgets. They're going to cut the EPA. Everything that benefits the American people is going to be cut. And that money is going to be transferred to them, to the upper tier of society, to the 1%ers. We have a lot of work to do. And I don't even know if we have the time to do it. But the gap between the rich and the poor is just a giant chasm. And that's the way they want it. And that's the way they designed it. And with Donald Trump in the White House and Elon Musk pulling at the strings, this problem is going to get a lot worse. The financial and economic struggling for the American people is going to get far worse. But yet they think because Donald Trump says it, he's going to do this for me, and he's going to do that for me, and he's going to cut energy costs and end all these wars and blah, blah, blah. The list goes on and on of the bullshit lies. But they believe it. And because they believe it, Donald Trump is going to pillage whatever is left of the United States of America.